And let's bring in ABC News contributor and presidential historian Mark Updegrove for more. Mark, Kissinger was a key advisor to presidents and diplomats for decades. So how much of an influence did he have on foreign policy, even after leaving office?
A huge influence. He was, of course, the brain, more or less, the foreign policy brain for Richard Nixon, who was considered a great foreign policy president, including the opening of China after nearly a quarter of a century that China was in the wilderness after the communist revolution. So there were so many huge achievements in the Nixon and Ford administration in which Kissinger served on foreign policy. So he continued to be an influence to subsequent presidents, all presidents from Jimmy Carter through Joe Biden. And as George mentioned in that report, Diane, he had also served as an advisor to JFK and LBJ before going into government as a national security advisor for Richard Nixon. So to have served 12 presidents as an advisor, either formally or informally, that's a remarkable accomplishment. That enduring influence is unmatched by any other Secretary of State in history.
Now, Kissinger faced major criticism for his role in a U.S. bombing campaign in Cambodia that killed thousands of civilians. He was also accused of supporting a right-wing coup in Chile. How complicated is his legacy?
Enormously complicated. He courted controversy throughout his time as national security advisor and as Secretary of State, principally for the systematic carpet bombing of Cambodia, which escalated the war in Vietnam in the hopes of bringing an end to the conflict in Vietnam. That sort of pragmatic approach was considered by many to be illegal, and Kissinger was considered by many to be a war criminal. So there was a lot of controversy. This is a Nobel Prize laureate. He won the Nobel Peace Prize, shared it for trying to negotiate an end to the Vietnam War. And at the same time, he was considered a war criminal for being a proponent of that bombing in Cambodia and Laos, Diane.
So how is Kissinger's approach to diplomacy influencing leaders still today?
I think he took a more pragmatic, more practical, more realistic, he would say, approach to foreign policy. And many thought that that was at the expense of American values. What Kissinger tried to do, sometimes very, very controversially, as I mentioned earlier, is ensure American interests by taking very different tacts in foreign policy. So this is, instead of realpolitik, it was realistic diplomacy, Diane, and so that often was considered to be enormously controversial.
All right, ABC News contributor, presidential historian Mark Updegrove. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, Diane.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.